for the following crimes: 1 for battery, 5 for operating while intoxicated, 2 wanted on warrants, 1 for intimidation, and 1 for dealing controlled substance. We're still not doing any permits. That will open on May 26th when the lobby's open. We have started online training for all our officers and in-house training. So all our officers are currently doing online for state mandates, and that should be accomplished by the end of this month. And then we had on April 22nd through the 28th, Detective Dickerson completed online training in open source intelligence for online investigations, and then online protections for children and families while social distancing. Last thing that I have to report is we are doing patrols on the B4 trail. We're using the ATV bike patrols. We have seen a lot of families and people out there. Again, if there is any problems, please call 911 and we'll get units out there to respond. That is all I have.
Thank you. Thank you, Brad. Any questions for Brad from the board? No? Okay, we'll move on to Fire Department. Chief Bass.
Good evening, everyone. On Monday, April 20th, LFD department members were tested for COVID-19. Over the course of the last several weeks, we've had a total of 4 members test positive. All 4 members have returned to work. We are requiring a work performance evaluation for those firefighters, and this is due to the respiratory effects of the virus. As of today's date, we are 15% behind on emergency calls of service from where we were last year. I believe this is directly in part to the public's concern over COVID-19. We've had a steady climb in calls for service over the last 2 weeks. Our firefighters are in contact with COVID-19 patients on a daily basis. We've upgraded several of our standard precautions, and we feel like we're having a very positive interaction with the public regarding this. We'd like to recognize Tom Ryan and his staff at the Boone County Health Department. They're just exceeding expectation in their duties and their ability to provide protective equipment or PPE. They're just an excellent resource for that. Department morale is good, and the crews are training hard. If you've not already, you can follow the City of Lebanon Fire Department on Facebook. We frequently highlight shift trainings and emergency calls for service. Things are getting back to normal as far as training through the state. Many of the certification classes are back up again. Firefighters Sam Doherty and Zach Ruark are enrolled in Instructor 1. Firefighter Noah Rinker is enrolled in Fire Officer 1. And Lieutenant Matt Young is finishing up his rope rescue certification. I put our annual fire inspection program on hold until Monday, July 6th. Chief Baird will continue with new construction fire inspections and any emergency inspection needs. During the interim, Chief Baird will be auditing all current inspections for accuracy and addresses. We want the public to know that we're still offering our car seat program. Just contact 765-482-8827 and we'll continue to serve in that capacity. We currently have 2 recruits in the Pike Township Fire Academy. Lane Beeler and Matt Need are scheduled to graduate on September 10th. When in-person council meetings return, we are planning to do a swearing-in ceremony for Lane, Matt, and our 2 lateral transfer firefighters, Preston Appleset and Sean Yancey. And finally, the 3 administrative chiefs are in the office daily with relatively no change in work habits. Starting today, our administrative assistant, Barb Bradley, is going to work from 8 to noon each day, and then she will finish her day out of the office. That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Chief Batts from the board?
I got one for the chief and as well as Brad. How often are the 2 departments being tested for the virus?
Our testing is ongoing. We've had 1 departmental testing, and then we're doing volunteer testing, or when we've known that there's an issue. So I hope that makes sense for you. Our testing's ongoing. We're using ARIA Diagnostics, and Does that answer your question?
Well, is that like daily or is it 3 times a week? Or?
No, not at all. We're doing department testing. We're going to test again departmentally in another 2 weeks. And in the interim, we're just testing on an as-needed basis.
Okay. I'm just curious. You guys are very important, both of you. So, we need to get tested.
The only thing we're doing is we are checking temperatures, and if anybody has said that they've been in contact with somebody, we'll be tested. But so far, we've been very lucky on that.
Okay.
We have daily temperature check protocols as well. Their temperatures are taken at 0700 and at 1900 hours daily.
Okay. All right. Good, boys.
Any other questions for Chief Batts?
I don't.
And Tanya, I think we saw that Bill is here now, so that's good to go. We can.
Yeah, I finally got on.
Okay.
Good deal. Welcome, Bill. Glad I figured it out. All right. Next up is Parks Department, John Messenger.
Good evening. Going on at the parks, our maintenance addition, along with the new restroom, are finishing up. We should put asphalt down possibly as soon as Monday or Tuesday of next week, weather permitting. Looking forward to opening those up. It is a heated restroom. I don't think we'll need it next week, but it's nice. I think everybody will be pleased with the outcome. There again, our bathhouse, we've been working on it all winter. New partitions, a lot of upgrades, along with the coating of the floor. Really looking forward to opening the Seashore Water Park up. We'll be opening that up on June 1st. And also the splash pad on June 1st, but looking forward to some nice looking changes there. We also have been working on our tennis courts, both at Abner Longley Park and Memorial Park. We're rounding the finish line there. Hopefully, weather permitting next week, we can get it striped, putting some coatings on there and some repairs. Looks really good, to say the least. We'll be putting out more information in the near future here, probably by next meeting, setting up some leagues and some instructional times that people can learn how to play pickleball court. Getting a lot of inquiries about it. We'll be putting that out soon. Friday, we opened the conservation pond up at Abner Longley Park this last weekend. It'll stay open until October on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays from 8 to 6. Opening up on May 24th will be our shelters, our sports courts. They're playgrounds, and our restrooms will be open on May 24th. There again, that's to the governor's guidelines, the CDC, and the health department. They're kind of dictating everything we do. If that doesn't change, we'll be sticking with this schedule. Recreational programs and leagues open June 14th. The Seashore Water Park, as I said earlier, and the splash pad open June 1st. There will be some restrictions on that, which I can go over later with you. Tennis program for little ones will begin through Let's Go Sports on Monday evenings, June 8th. Just check out our website or call the office for any information on that. Those are ages 3 to 8, and it's $65 a child. Really good instruction there. We also have a lacrosse camp with Let's Go Sports. That starts also on June 15th. $85 a child. Just check out our website or give us a call. We'll explain the website does a nice job. Swim lessons. We opened that up this morning and already have a couple programs that are full. There again, we're watching, monitoring how many we have in each program, but a couple programs are full, so give us a call and we'll set you up. We aren't accepting any monies right now. We'll accept them when it gets closer to time. Morning and evening sessions will be June 16th through the 26th. Also July 13th through the 24th. Both those will be morning and evening classes. We're going to keep them to 10 children per group. So they're filling up fast. As I said, we've already filled up one program. So give us a call and we'll sign you up and then take your money when we start. We just don't know with all these changes if there will be any restrictions on down the road, but we're hoping they aren't. Co-ed softball league, first game starts June 14th. If you want to get a team together, just call the park office and we'll set you up a team. Memorial Park's 100th year celebration. We're starting to plan it, been planning it for a while. It'll be Friday, August 7th with band, night swimming, fireworks at the baseball diamond at Memorial Park. And of course, we'll have our famous hot dog cart there. There again, we also are getting ready to roll out by the end of this month our new website and software, and it's set to launch the last week of May. Everything's looking good. Some of the programs that we have put off, Daddy-Daughter Dance being the biggest one, we've still postponed it until later this summer. That date is dependent on the Lebanon High School when they open the school back up. Right now it's closed, the facility inside and outside till July 4th. So until we get word on that, we're planning on having it. It's a great event that we have. Getting back to Seashore Water Park, the update, water's going in the pools today. So we are going to fire it up here very soon. Let me see, all systems will be running Wednesday. We were open up June 1st. The only changes in that is we can only go to 50% capacity. So we will be monitoring who comes in and out. There again, we will not do any pool passes. They will not be sold this year. There again, because we don't know the restrictions on down the road, and we've just chose not to do that. We have a staff of about 51 this year, including 3 supervisors, 5 captains, and 13 concession and 32 lifeguards. Pool parties are now offered Thursday through Sunday nights. That's something new. We had to open up Thursdays because all the bookings that we had. We'll be certifying our last few guards on May 26th and 27th, and our staff orientation will be May 28th, 4 to 8. We'll be utilizing our new website to convey everything from daily weather to pool closures and to capture member data for future communication. And that's all I had.
Very good. Thank you, John. A lot of good stuff going on. Any questions for John from the board?
No.
Nope. Okay. Next up will be engineering department. Kevin.
Thank you all. Good to see you again, even if it is just virtually. Updates from the engineering department. Wrapping up a few things on the downtown project. Go back to stuff we were wrapping up the end of March, if you believe that. Washington Street tree lawn fencing is now all complete. We wrapped up the Meridian Street sidewalks between Main and 32 in late March as well. We've also now completed the Meridian Street drainage and curb repairs, and we put the final asphalt surface down on Meridian Street. Not a whole lot left to do. Sorry to report, but unfortunately the lights that we ordered for Meridian and State Road 39, they were delivered towards the end of March, but unfortunately they are the wrong light fixtures. So we're dealing with our suppliers there to get that corrected and getting those installed. I don't know what to say. The shop drawings that we submitted were all the same identical light fixtures as what we had installed around the square. And for some unknown reason, they shipped something different. So we're working to get that corrected, and hopefully we'll do so. Unfortunately, it'll take some time, though. It'll take most of the summer, probably, the way these lead times go with light fixtures. But we'll keep you all posted on that. Landscaping subcontractor, other than we're one of the next ones up on their list. So there'll be a couple of trees replaced, some shrub work, some plants that go in as well. Then there's some miscellaneous drainage repairs on the West Main Street project that will also be getting underway in the next couple of weeks, weather pending. And we're looking to have final pay applications ready to close out that project sometime before the end of the month. Indianapolis Avenue, a lot going on down there. If you've been paying attention to the Facebook updates, we thank Joe for those. In the last few weeks, though, we've completed all the street lighting, we've completed the curbs, the walks, the ADA ramps, sanitary manhole adjustments, storm manhole adjustments. Striping is ongoing, sodding is ongoing. Both of those things are scheduled to be wrapped up this week, and we should have that project completely open by the end of May. Pavement resurfacing, we've been taking advantage of the light traffic around town and doing a lot of our pavement resurfacing over the last few weeks. All of our ADA ramps are now complete at this point. Asphalt resurfacing is all going down. We should have that wrapped up by the end of the week. Many have asked why we waited so long to do Sam Ralston. That's because Sam Ralston is a haul road for many of our other street resurfacing projects, and we didn't want to tear up that new surface. So it is the last one to be done, and it is scheduled to be wrapped up this week. Again, all things are weather permitting when it comes to asphalt resurfacing. We will still have some work going on to adjust manhole castings that will start up next week, as well as the landscape repairs on all those projects. Sidewalk replacement programs. We've got several citizens now. I don't have a count. There's several though that have submitted for the 2020 cost share program. Derek Warren has been coordinating that work with our contractor. In fact, they were walking sites this morning and also walking some other ADA compliance repairs that we'll be making. So you will see in the very short term here, we're starting to do a massive amount of sidewalk projects throughout the city. On that front, we are working with our landowners and our neighbors along Lafayette Avenue, Witt Road, and Riley Road. We are nearing agreements with all those property owners to acquire the land and get those sidewalks going. So later this summer, you'll see those sidewalks going in, filling in the gaps, if you will, making sure that kids have a safe way to get to the schools and walk along those busy streets before the school opens, hopefully on schedule this fall. Witt Road Bridge, we're going on there as well. The Witt Road Bridge just north of Lafayette Avenue over the Small Reynolds Ditch. Survey work is complete. Wetland investigations are complete. Geotechnical reporting is in progress, and we are scheduled to have preliminary plans ready for review sometime in early to mid-June. Keep in mind, it's all getting ready for construction in 2021 with a proposed budget of approximately $800,000. Big Four Trail expansion, I think most of us know, but so that the public knows, due to the COVID-19 crisis, the announcement of the second round of Big Four Trail grants was delayed. No further updates at this time. Grant Street, work progresses there on the design phases. Later tonight, we will be asking for you to give us authorization to bid the storm sewer outlet work on William Street. This is the storm sewer outlet for the Grant Street Road project. We're doing this separately to get out in front of the county on the William Street Bridge resurfacing projects, which was originally planned for this year, but has been delayed till next year. But I am told that is now also pending funding from the county, so that could change as well. But regardless, we still want to go ahead and get our storm sewer system in place. Fordyce Road, we completed our survey work out there.
Right on time.
Right on time. 6 o'clock. Working on Fordyce Road, the trail connections over to East Street. Again, this is a bigger effort as the city begins to grow. We want to make sure trails and pedestrian connectivity, pedestrian routes, vehicular routes going in and out of the city are well upgraded and ready to account for that growth as that moves forward. So that's where we're looking at Fordyce Road on connecting that trail to the East Street Trail. And then we're still working on a potential construction schedule that would be in 2021. But again, I think we're all sort of evaluating funding sources and strategies as we do go forward, and hopefully we'll be making decisions later this summer as we all get back to normal. Lebanon Bike Park, not a whole lot to report here. Work does continue though. We have we've wrapped up the concept development plan, and we've finished up our wetland, our landfill studies. Those delineations on the landfill will go into IDEM. From a marketing standpoint. Other things to report, regional detention. You might recall we've approved 2 task orders for work on our upper pond and the lower and middle ponds. Christopher Burke is working on all those task orders right now. On the upper pond, which is in the area between State Road 39 and I-65, they're developing modeling, initial grading plans, conveyance models, and hope to have that wrapped up in the next 30 days. The lower and middle ponds, again, also developing models, and the primary task there is to develop lower pond siting strategies. Where are we going to put and place that lower detention pond so that we can begin land acquisition efforts on that front. A couple of development updates. Sanitary construction does continue on the Villa site and the Sunbrook site. Contractors did complete the boring of County Road 250 North. Last we talked, they were going to open cut that, but due to some unusually high water table conditions, some unforeseen soils, they decided it would be safer to bore that road. So we did fall back to our original plan, which was require a boring, and that is now complete. Section 2 of Sunbrook is now been refiled with revised plans. They're already building homes in Section 1, and excited to see them committed to that project and moving forward with Phase 2. Sunbrook Villas is also still expected to be under earthwork construction later this spring. Jumping across town to the Gateway Marketplace a few weeks ago, the Burger King opened. Happy to see that. Also happy to see progress moving forward on the Moe's Southwest Grill. I know the sign is up now, and they are expected to open early this summer. Again, we're keeping an eye on those openings. As those things occur, we will coordinate with NDOT to get these stoplights installed at the new intersection of Ping and State Road 32. With that, I think that's all we really have to update you with from the engineering side of things. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to talk about that further.
Thank you, Kevin. Any questions for Kevin from the board?
No.
Thank you.
No.
Okay. Next up is Plan Department, Ben Bontrager.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? The Planning Department continues to maintain our primary functions while City Hall is closed. Building permits, inspections, code complaints, those can all be done by either calling the main office line, and Christy is still answering that, or they can be submitted online or via email, just like we were accepting before. We have changed how we're functioning a little bit. We're not doing any in-person inspections on site. We are requiring contractors or other permit holders to submit inspection requests via email. And they have to fill out a letter of certification indicating that essentially they've completed work according to building code, and they submit a series of photographs that they're representative of the work. And then we do review those letters and the photos and stamp those acceptances and complete work. So we are doing inspections a little bit differently, but we are continuing to do inspections. We've done a little bit more than 60 inspections over the last month, and just to give you an idea of what we're reviewing, that involves about 720 photos that have been reviewed for those 60 inspections. So a little bit more cumbersome on our end, but we are keeping construction activity going. In terms of permits, we are still issuing quite a few permits. I'm happy to also see that new home construction is continuing. So that's good news. Code enforcement, we have changed how we're doing code enforcement a little bit, just knowing that a lot of our families are struggling right now and having to deal with other things like vehicles, just something else we can put on the plate right now. So we are taking complaints. What we're doing is sending courtesy letters to property owners letting them know there's an issue. If they're able to resolve them, we're working with them to get that done. We have been able to resolve a number of those things that way. We do have a handful that are going unresolved, and as we ramp back up, we'll take advantage of that and get those addressed. And then we aren't issuing citations for parking violations, so we're keeping track of all the complaints that we receive. And as we start getting back to some semblance of normal in the planning office, we'll address those as it comes. In terms of other things going on in the planning office, we do, as we have for several months, we have new positions that are open. We are still collecting resumes. For those that have submitted resumes, we've kind of put interviews and hiring on hold for a little bit just to see how things pan out the rest of the year. And certainly in terms of interviews, we're waiting until it makes, I'd like to be able to do in-person interviews or meetings if all possible. So once some of those distancing guidelines have been lifted or eased a little bit, we'll resume that. We are still collecting resumes from those that's interested. And those positions can be found on the city's website. Finally, we did hold our first Board of Zoning Appeals meeting virtually on the same platform last Monday night. We had a few hiccups first thing, just trying to get the hardware set up for the members that came to City Hall. But once we had everything set up and everybody's connected to the meeting, it went relatively smoothly. We're able to get a couple projects moving forward, so that's good news. We haven't really tested the public comments a whole lot. Neither one of those projects were really controversial, so I wasn't surprised to see we didn't have any public comments. But the meeting itself went off fairly well, and we expect to do the same thing with the Planning Commission meeting for the next Monday evening. That's all I have. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions from the board?
I do not.
Thank you.
No.
Nope. Okay, we'll move on to Street Department. Dave, you still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
How's everybody doing? Hope okay. Let's see, the Street and Stormwater Department. We've been back in the shop since April 20th. It's been a little challenging getting used to how we need to operate in a productive but safe manner, as my crew and the public is our number one concern right now. We are running split shifts here to keep all our crews separate as much as possible in and around the shop. The new policy is as follows: one person per truck at all times. After the shift, we clean out the inside of the trucks with disinfectant, clean our tools, soap and water, everything we need to use. Almost everything we do requires at least 2 people. So our policy has changed with that. It's the same for each crew member must be in a separate truck, even though, usually we have 2 guys going to one truck. We'll show up in multiple trucks now. They got to wear a mask and gloves and stay apart from each other as much as they possibly can. And that being said, that's what we've been doing. Let's see, we've gotten all the snowplow trucks are tore down finally. We have been out doing pothole repairs. We've been out mowing everywhere we mow, doing a lot of sign repairs as needed. We've been working on a curb and sign inventory. About got that wrapped up. During our last storm, we did have 2 trees go down. One was on top of a car, so that was very challenging, trying to stay separate, but also clean up the city as well. We do have recycling open back up through the week, 7:30 to 3:30. And that's really about all I got. I would like to thank each and every one of the street department crews for coming in under, very uncertain times. They're working together in a safe manner. They're really watching out for each other and practicing social distancing and taking all the necessary precautions they need to keep, our family safe and their own and the public as well. And one other thing, we'd like to thank the mayor. Our hats are off to the mayor for doing what he needed to do during this time, because it's challenging enough for me just for a department. I can't imagine running the whole city. So I think you did a good job, Mayor, and seems like all the head departments are doing pretty good. That's all I got.
Appreciate it, Dave. I'm blessed to have a lot of good department heads. So, Dave, I think you forgot to mention one thing, date for spring, I guess now early summer cleanup.
Yeah, we did move that to June the 5th and 6th after talking with the mayor and Ray's coordinating that. That is moved to June the 5th and 6th, which is scheduled to be, I want to say April 28th or 29th. It was into April. So we moved that to June, and I'm sure there's still going to be some challenges with that, but we'll get through it.
Okay, just want to make sure people are aware of that. So any other questions from the board?
No. David, the street sweeper, has it been out?
Yep, it's been out every day since we come back.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
That's it.
Hey, Dave, you have the recycle open now?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mentioned that. Maybe I mentioned it too fast, but it is open during the week, 7:30 to 3:30. I think we opened it up Monday. It started opening up Monday.
Okay.
Yep, when the governor said we could. So, all right. Thank you, Dave. Next up will be communications and community development. Joe LePage.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for putting up with our online platform and all the hiccups that have gone along with it. Everyone's done a great job. So appreciate everybody kind of jumping through hoops and being uncomfortable for these. And I think that the meetings have been important and very well done. So many thanks on this side of things. Inside the municipal building, thank you. As far as communications, community development, work continues on our video marketing as well as physical media. Kevin mentioned the bike park earlier. Work continues on a series of videos that we're going to do to help tell the story of the Lebanon Bike Park and how it came from a great idea to where we're at now and to looking ahead to the future. And so look forward to those in the near future to be released out to the public via our social media channels and obviously on the website as well. Also, we've been working quite a bit with the Lebanon Youth Council and their mural project for downtown. They plan to, and that they're set to pitch before the city council later on this month. And so about that. Their local artists, Trafford, great design, and so looking forward to sharing that with everyone and being able to have the public be proud of that, adding some color to our community in the form of artwork. And so also along those lines, we have forwarded on and are going to pay the bill to CSX for our contract to be able to work on the 5 overpasses, the railroad overpasses. After Rob Shine and I talked with the folks from CSX, we discovered a fee that the CSX does require for the go-ahead to be able to do the mural work we want to do. And so a little more than $13,000 later, we're going to be able to add even more artwork to our community. And so working with our local artists, a lot of the ones that worked on the tiger statues, utilizing their talents to be able to add beautiful murals and cover up some of the graffiti that is around our community, with the first one being along Camp Street near Harney Elementary. Mason, the Facebook post earlier today, Lebanon, visiting Lebanon, Indiana, and specifically the Big 4 Trail were featured in the magazine Travel Indiana. That publication goes to hotels and is given away at events. And so the circulation of that magazine was hindered a bit by the coronavirus, but nonetheless, a great piece was put together touting Lebanon, Indiana. And so as hotels and those festivals begin to happen, even more folks will be able to see the great things that are going on along the Big 4 Trail. There are subscribers to the magazine, and so they'll obviously be able to see that information in that publication. So looking forward to having that out to not only local folks, but also potential visitors as well. And then finally, we are going through the fine-tooth comb the last couple days on our publishing improved website, our corridor that we're going to use. And so working with DevLab to be able to not change the look of the website, but change how we're able to submit content and how we're able to lay some things out. And so we're able to speed up the responsiveness to changes that need to be made and just different content that we want to add to the site. And so really looking forward to be able to adding things not only daily, but several times during the day to be able to better communicate with the public and have that conversation on a daily basis and even sooner. And so really the goal remains to have our Lebanon.in.gov be the real landing place for folks, whether they be from Lebanon or I've never been to Lebanon, Indiana before. We want that to be the landing spot. And so the welcome mat will be there. And so looking forward to kind of putting a bow on that. And that's all I had on my list.
Okay, thank you, Joe. I'll take a moment here. Actually, any questions for Joe from the board?
Not for me.
No,
Thank you.
no.
I'll take a moment to pause here. Joe, is there any public comment or any feedback we've gotten on different avenues?
Let me look on my devices right here. There isn't anything currently on the text line. Let me look over onto YouTube. We had some viewers, but no comments as of yet. And Matt Hutton with Living Utilities comes in and says, no, we don't have any comments on the YouTube channel as of right now.
Okay.
We do monitor those comments, though, and so we appreciate those folks that are willing to watch via YouTube and being able, also the public access channel, but then want to be able to provide that platform for them to be able to chime in on things that they'd like to chime in on. So.
Okay, thank you, Joe. That concludes department head reports. So I'll move on to old business on the agenda. I don't have anything on my agenda for old business. Is there anything from the board?
No.
Okay, We'll move on to new business then. First item up is maintenance bonds for sidewalks and surface asphalt in Riley Ridge. This is for Kevin.
Yes, thank you. Relatively just an administrative process here. We have before us tonight 2 actions that we need to take, and the board needs to approve the release of 2 performance bonds, replacing those with maintenance bonds. These are both for Riley Ridge Section 1, and they are related to the asphalt surface on the streets. That has been completed and accepted, and we're ready to turn that over from performance surety to maintenance bond. The total on the maintenance bond replacing the performance bond is $11,697.61. And the second item of the same vein is for the Riley Ridge Section 1 common area sidewalks. Again, all those were completed under their performance sureties and have been accepted, and they are now replacing that performance bond with a maintenance bond for the total of $4,524.12. So what we need tonight is just an action from the board to release the Riley Ridge Section 1 asphalt surface and common area sidewalk performance bonds and replace them with bond.
Okay, any questions for Kevin on that from the board?
No.
Okay. No. I would entertain a motion then to release the performance bonds and accept them as maintenance bonds for the Riley Ridge Phase 1 surface and common areas and sidewalks.
I'll make a motion. We release the Riley Ridge Section 1 surface of asphalt and also the sidewalks to replace them with the maintenance bond.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
A second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay, those are approved. And next up is Williams Street bid authorization, storm and water relocation construction. This is Kevin again.
Yes, thank you once again. I mentioned the Williams Street storm sewer, that portion that is technically part of the Grant Street project, which the last time we met on March 9th, you approved the contract with Butler, Farmer, and Seifert to prepare those bidding documents and for their consulting services on the bidding process. So now we just need to authorize us to release those plans and specifications for bidding.
Move to release.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, go ahead. We can proceed with that. Next up is the RFP consideration for street department design. And this is also yours, Kevin.
Yes, thank you. Again, thank you. This is a proposal that we're asking for your approval on, for us to enter into a contract with professional services consultants by the name of Kramer Companies, who will author a professional RFP for the design of a new street department facility. They will prepare those RFP documents. They monitor and facilitate the RFP process. Any questions, addendas, any things like that that come in, with the goal of getting us at least 3 qualified design firms that will enter proposals for the engineering and architectural design services needed for a new street department garage, which will also include evaluating the existing site as well as a potential site in the business park adjacent to the Vincennes facility. So again, this is for an authorization subject to legal review and authorizing the mayor to execute a final contract with the Kramer Companies for the execution of professional services associated with an RFP for street department design work.
I do just want to say as well too, the street department garage is the oldest city facility we have. I know it's been quite some time since that's been upgraded. I think we've had it since the 60s, and Dave, feel free to jump in here too. But it was used even before that, as I believe, as another company as well. So it's definitely showing its age, and it's definitely time to look at it. Again, the RFP doesn't necessarily guarantee that we're going to build it, but it's just kind of the first step for us to kind of get a good idea of what we believe it would cost to kind of start down that road. So haven't explored any of the financials other than this is frankly just to kind of get some proposals from some qualified companies to kind of get their feet or get their input and get some preliminary cost estimates and things like that. So just really want to make sure this is kind of the very first step of a long process. So I want to make that clear for everybody. Dave, anything you want to say about the street department garage?
No, I mean, I believe it's definitely needed. We're outgrown our salt. We've outgrown our, all of our leased vehicles and all of our new trucks, everything sits outside. So we would like to be able to put everything inside and keep it safe for safety reasons, and just, we're just outdated here. We got to catch up. We don't have heat in a lot of our rooms here at our facilities. And I believe this was a triangle asphalt building. Maybe Dick would know that before the city purchased it. So it's been around a long time.
Yes, it has.
Okay. Any other questions for Kevin?
No.
Nick, anything good?
I'll make a motion we approve the professional services agreement with Kramer Companies, subject to legal review, and authorize the mayor to sign the agreement once it's approved.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed?
Aye.
Sorry, Dick, sorry, Bill, you're a little late. Are you opposed or are you in favor?
In favor.
Okay, there's a lag, so just wanted to make sure we were clear on that. So,
Right.
all right, so we have all in favor, none opposed. That is approved. So that completes what I have for new business. Anything from the board?
I think we have a police department has a car that needs to be surplus.
Yeah, go ahead and introduce that, Bill, or Brad, whoever.
Go ahead, Bill.
Police department has a 2012 Dodge Charger. Last 4 have been 1203. It needs to be surplus, returned to Enterprise.
Okay, we'll entertain a motion to surplus the 2012 Dodge Charger.
I'll make a motion to surplus the Dodge Charger.
Okay, I think we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? Okay, that vehicle is declared surplus. All right, that concludes what we have. Anything else?
I have one for Mayor.
Go ahead, Kevin.
I have a change order that I would like approval on. This is a change order for Triangle Asphalt Paving Corporation. This is related to the Meridian Street resurfacing. This is actually a 2019 contract that was held over and completed a few weeks ago. Due to the curb height adjustments, we had to install some additional tonnage of asphalt there. Project that again totaled up to about 25 extra tons of surface that went down on that project. That project was based on a unit price contract that established unit prices for asphalt surface at $65 a ton. Again, 25 tons, $65 a ton, for a total in this change order of $1,625.00. I would ask the board to approve that so that we could go ahead and process final billing.
Okay. Any questions from the board? Okay, would entertain the Triangle Asphalt change order. Let's call it number 1. All in favor, or is there a second? Or a motion?
Second. Oh, I'll make a motion. We approve the Triangle Asphalt number 1 change order for $1,625.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second? Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, that change order is approved.
I don't oppose. I'm for.
Okay, thank you, Dick.
All right.
Because you seconded it, so I thought we'd be all right. All right.
I didn't get in there quick enough.
Everything out for everybody? Okay, we'll move on to the claims, and we'll entertain a motion concerning the claims.
Make a motion to approve the claims.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, claims are approved. Our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday because we had not a Memorial Day. So Tuesday, May 26th at 6:15 p.m. We are hoping to have it back in the council chambers in person. We may be sitting in opposite corners of the room, but we're going to try to have it in person if possible. So just want to let you guys all know that. But we will be, like I said, following the governor's recommendations and guidelines very closely. So if we can't do that, we'll be back here digitally again. So with that, we'll entertain the motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and hope to hear from you soon. And everybody stay healthy. Have a great night.
All right, thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.